we say there is a special bracha שכוחו גבורתו מלא עולם. What's the bracha on זוועות? זה זוועה. מה זה זוועות? על הזיקין, לראות עולם הדרות, שכוחו גבורתו מלא עולם. על הזוועות, what זוועות? זוויס, you know? supposed to say שכוחו גבורתו מלא עולם. שואלת הגמרא, מהי זוועות? מה ביאור הדבר? זוועות. האמת פצמול, ככה תוכל לשרוד. מהי זוועות? כמה זוועות? אמר לרב קטינה, גוה. מה זה גוה? earthquake. Earthquake. Rav Ktina, the Gemara says story about an earthquake. Rav Ktina, that was his name. Avi Kazil Be'orcha, was walking on the road. Kimata Pitcha de Be'ova Tamya. When he came to the entrance of Ovya Tamya, Ovya it's Ov. Lo yeh bechem Ovi idoni. Ovya Tameh, it's a guy who pretends to know stuff, but he really doesn't know. But he has a way really to know. When you do Ov, you bring it with a bone, a soul down, and you can communicate with the with an neshama, with a soul. So, Kimata Apitcha de Be'ovya Tamya, when he came to the entrance Ovya, the Tameh Ovya, because Ov, it's something Tameh, to bring the Shamot, is the using Kochot, powers of Tumah, of impureness. Ganach Goha, the dirt had Ganach, meaning it was an earthquake to the ground. Amar, Mi yada o batamya ahai goa mahu. Does this Ov knows what the Goha, what is the earthquake mean? What's the reason? What causing an earthquake? The Gemara says, the Gemara says, Ramalei.
He comes trailing behind.
תודה רבה. היום זה עם המזלג. תודה רבה. תודה רבה. So, Amar, he said, Mi yadana Ov yatamya, does the Ov tameh knows hai goa mahu, ma ze goa? Rama le Kala, he responded back to him, Ktina. His name was Rav Ktina, so he responded to him without respect. Ktina, Amar lo yadana, why I don't know?
Why is that without respect?
Ktina, David, meaning it's Rav Ktina, was a Rav. Why I don't know? בשעה שהקדוש ברוך הוא זוכר את בניו, when the Eibishter, you know what Eibishter, you know?
כן.
מה זה?
הקדוש ברוך הוא.
אתה רואה? מישהו פה יודע, הייתי צריך ללמד אותם. בשעה שהקדוש, ויש כבוד. בשעה שהקדוש ברוך הוא זוכר את בניו, when the Eibishter remember his kids, ששרים בצער בין אומות העולם, who are staying with pain among the nations of the world, מוריש את דמעות לים הגדול. He dropped 2 tears to the big ocean. וקולו נשמע, and his voice is heard, מסוף העולם ועד סופו, from the end of the world till the end of it. ועיינו גוה. Okay. ועיינו גוה. This is גוה. גוה means the earth shake is from the 2 tears of Hashem that he cries for Am Yisrael who are among the nation and suffering, and it's shaking the world. The Gemara says, Amar Rav Kina responding back to him, Oba Tamya, Oba that is a Tameh, Kadiv who is a liar, Uminen Ktivin, and his words are lies. Yachi, according to you that there are 2 tears, Goha Goa Mibaile. In the earth there should be 2 waves, 1, 2, because each tear should create 1 shakes to the world. Why it shakes only once? The Gemara says, "Be'emet velo'i." It's incorrect as he responds. Goa avid. An earthquake, you have 2 shakes. He was right. The reason he respond back to him, he didn't admit to him that he's right. So in order for everybody not to go by mistake after him, if he's going to tell this of, you know what you're talking about, good answer, everybody going to say, you see, then you ask him what's going to be with my mazal, So therefore, the guy told me, I was in Israel, so the guy said, he said, this Rav knows everything, what's going to be. So I said, no problem. I said, can I ask you what's going to be the lottery number next week? פתאום הוא לא יודע. If he knows, he knows. אחי, אין חצי, לא?
If he knows, then keep it for himself. If he knows, then keep it for himself.
He wouldn't ask for donations. Okay, so the reason he responded back to him, not to get attention not to give him attention. Rav Ktina didei Omar, but Rav Ktina his own opinion. What's the explanation of an earthquake? Amar sofek kapav, Hashem clapping his hands. שנאמר, גם אני אכה כפי אל כפי. I will slap one hand over another hand. והניחותי חמתי. And I will get my anger, calm down. So this clap of Hashem, that's the meaning of the earthquake.
How do we get from disrespecting the rabbi to earthquakes? I missed
No,
that
because
part.
the question was what earthquake means. And
How's
he
it
gave
called?
his own answer, what's it called? And he gave an answer, and he responded back to him, by the way, you're wrong. That's not the
But
reason.
he was right.
But he was right, yeah. Now, Rav Kina, that was his own explanation. So two explanations. Number one, 2 tears of Hashem. Second explanation is because when Hashem clap his hands to get his anger
So why
down,
does it
that's
say
a shame.
specifically that he was right? Why is Rav Tina giving a different answer if he was right? He
He
knew he was
no,
right.
So,
you're
so
saying.
the Gemara, probably there are maybe other, אתה שואל טוב, the other explanation.
There's
Another
explanation.
his
It's
own,
natural
his
disaster.
own explanation.
Should we take from this also that if we do this, clap together, are we also gonna calm down more?
That's a good question. It's clapping. Interesting. The Gemara says that by Ta'anit, by funeral, there were makin kaf al kaf. It's a sign of getting the mourning, the avelu down. Some people that was get them.
Yeah, I know.
Relax.
That's why I'm saying that it's a more controlled method.
It's a better way. כן, החסידים. ראיתם מה החסידים מתפללים? זה חסידים דם ונגדה. In ארץ ישראל. כן, נכון, גם בספרות. I think it's an expression of emotions. Either sadness or happiness. Both ways.
They clap in tefillah.
וואו, כן, חסידים, אחי. מהירים, they wake you up, you try to sleep, and then suddenly like... ואני חודי חמתי. רב נתן אומר, רב נתן says, הנחה מתנח, השם is yawning, שנאמר, ואני חותי חמתי בם, והיא נחמתי. אני חותי, he used it as a language of הנחה, of yawning. השם is yawning, and that's the...
Sigh.
Yeah, sigh. Sigh?
Sigh.
נכון,
Also yawn. I was like, no, it's a sigh.
It's a sigh, you're right,
Yeah.
so... ורבנן says, בועט ברקיע, whatever the pshat is, Hashem is kicking the earth, the sky, שנאמר, הידד כדורכים יענה אל כל יושבי הארץ. So the way Hashem, the beginning of the pasuk says, Hashem is shaking the sky and is reflecting down all of the people who are resident in or are reside in the world, in our world. So in a way, Hashem is kicking the earth and that's a response. Hashem is kicking, the sky. רב אחא בר יעקב אומר, דוחק רגליו תחת כיסא הכבוד. Hashem is putting his feet, putting it hard under his כיסא, the chair of glory, שנאמר, כה אמר השם, this is what Hashem said, השמיים כיסי, the earth, the sky is my seat, והארץ and the land, הדום רגלי, it's the support of the...
It's like a footstool. Yeah.
A footstool. So when Hashem like putting it down, so all these things are obviously has very spiritual stuff for us to understand. But the concept is there is a connection between any earthquake, according to everybody, it's a certain side of sadness and a reflection from Hashem to us. So there is a message into it. ועל הרעמים, we said on רעמים, איך אומרים רעמים באנגלית? Thunders? לא. זה ברקים, לא?
לא, thunder זה רעמים.
Thunders זה רעמים, איך אומרים ברקים?
Lightning זה...
Lightning, okay, very good. ועל הרעמים on the thunders, מהי רעמים? What's caused the thunders to happen? אמר שמואל, ענני בגלגלה, which is two clouds or are smashing into each other, they're making that noise. שנאמר, כל רעמך בגלגל, with the noise of your noise in the galgal, in the wheel, העירו ברקים with lightnings, תבל רעשה, the earth, ותרעש הארץ, the earth and the land have been shaken. So because of the crash between the two clouds, we have the noise.
תבל רגזה. תבל רגזה כתוב, לא רעש.
תבל, מה אמרתי? תבל רגזה ותרעש הארץ, תודה. ורבן אמרי חכמים says, עננה דשפחי, מיה לידה, the clouds that are pouring water to each other. שנאמר לכל תיתו, for the voice of giving, המון מים בשמיים, a lot of water in the sky. So that are clouds are sharing water. רב אחא בר יעקב אמר, ברקה תקיפה דבריק בעננה. It's a spark of fire that hitting the cloud. ומדבר גזיז דברדה, and that's reflection creating the noise of the thunder. רב אשי אמר, עננה חלולי מחלחלי, there are some holes between the clouds, ואת הזיקה, and the winds come, ומנשה ופומיו, and blows through the holes of the clouds, ודני כזיקה על פומדני. It's like a noise that there is on top of a barrel when it's open, the wind creating noise. The Gemara concludes, מסתבר, what makes sense, כרב אחא בר יעקב. It makes sense like רב אחא בר יעקב, who said, the barik barka, first you have lightning, and then umenahami anani, and then you have the noise from the clouds, ve'ati mitra, and a rain comes. All those we are saying, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, oseh ma'aseh bereishis. Ve'al haruchot, on winds, also the B'cha ma'aseh bereshit. Man ruchot, what ruchot means? Amar Abaye v'zafa, I think it's, look, Rashi said, soft turbine, you see? I think, matos, on the airplane when you have turbulence. It sounds like, I think it's turbulence. I saw somebody else bring the word כיסא אוויר, but it's in a turbine, it's a turbulence, meaning it's a storm. Turbulence, a storm, on a big storm like tornado, etc. The bracha will be עושה מעשה בראשית.
Isn't there one about גבורה, רבנו? There's one about גבורה also, right?
שכוחו גבורתו מלא עולם,
You
כן.
say that also on lightning?
That's on רעמים.
On thunder, right?
לא, I'm sorry. All these ברכות is שכוחו גבורתו מלא עולם. I apologize. It's not עושה מעשה בראשית. All those events are שכוחו, the strength is full of the world, because that's a sign of strength of Hashem. תודה רבה. מה אתה אומר? הים הגדול is מעשה בראשית. Good, yeah.
אוקיינוס, לא
כן.
Well, Yam HaGadol, if you just
If
go
you see
on
the
a
big
plane,
ocean, yeah, but there is a מחלוקת, where is the big ocean?
Which one
Yeah.
is, right?
לא ים התיכון. פה האוקיינוס, האטלנטי.
האוקיינוס, according to everybody, I
Also,
think
if you
it
see
is.
mountains and valleys, right?
כן.
you say
ואומר
what?
רבי,
Moshe Bereshit?
Yeah.
עושה מעשה, that is creation of בראשית.
Skiing on the mountain.
We were in Tennessee, seeing all of
טנסי,
the clouds, Smoky Mount.
אתה אומר.
So over there, you see the clouds inside of the
כן.
of the mountains. So I saw the same thing in Israel with the fog, So I said, you have it in Israel, why do you go so far?
Wait, so what do you say in that case if you see a mountain?
עושה מעשה בראשית.
You say Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu
כן,
melech
העולם עושה
haolam.
מעשה בראשית.
בגלל זה ניצחו
אה?
בפוטבול. טנסי,
ניצחו בפוטבול? כי בירכנו שם.
מעשה בראשית.
טנסי? קנזס סיטי.
You see for thunder?
וואו,
You hear thunder.
כנראה שלא בירכנו מספיק טוב. אוקיי, ועל הרוחות. On the winds. מהי רוחות? אמר רבי זפה, those are storms. ואמר רבי גמיר, we have a rule, the זפה בלילה לא אהבה, there is no storms at night. The Gemara says, "Vakachazin dehave." We see that there are storms at night. The Gemara says, "Ahu de'atchulu b'yimama." It begins during the day, but it wouldn't begin at night. V'omar Rabbi Abai says, "Gmiri dezafa tartishai lo kai." That a storm would not be more than 2 hours. Would not be 2 hours. Lekayem
Takes a
sheneimar.
break, yeah.
Yeah, lo takum pa'amayim tzara. A tzara, a tragedy, will not be going to be. Not going to get up twice. The Gemara says, "Vakachazin and dekai." We do see that storm goes longer than an hour. The Gemara answered, "The mafsik beini ubeini," because it stops in between. There were 3 Jews who were wealthy, so they were sitting together and they said to each other, "How did you become wealthy?" So the first one said, "It was a fire in my factory, big fire, and the insurance gave me a lot of money. And I became very wealthy." So very nice. And the other one said, "How did you make a lot of money?" He said, I had a big retail place, and it was a big flood from something happening in the water in the building, and everything flooded, and I made a lot of money. And the third one said, "You know what? It was a hurricane in my neighborhood, and I made a lot of money." So both of them said, "How did you do that?" Because Jews making up those events, we get money from the insurance.
Yeah.
It used to be, no more.
Yeah.
ועל הברקים אומר,
And then the Florida pays for insurance, the house insurance.
no more insurance.
No more insurance.
Like that. We paying it back now.
Yeah, we're paying it back now.
אחי, it's the insurance fault, I had small fire, and it was like $5,000 damage. I got from the insurance $170,000. מה, אני אגיד לא? Fire, I had to replace a roof once. חגי got me out of the insurance $230,000. The repair was 70. מה אני אגיד לו? I mean, I think the insurance create that system. Anyway,
Tell us the secrets. You do
חגי, אחי,
you
חגי.
commit to a bigger מעשה, or what's the...
No, you need a good adjuster.
Is it
So,
the same for us?
but, Chagai, you know Chagai, yeah? He's straight honest. Doesn't, what happened?
he
What
won't bend
happened?
the
Yeah, he
rule,
won't
right?
bend them. No, he won't bend himself also, you know.
Yeah.
אבל הברקים הוא אומר, on the listening he says, ברור שכוחו וגבורתו מלא עולם. מהי ברקים? What's our ברקים? עומרה וברכה, lightning, light. ועומרה וברכה יחידה, in a single lightning, וברכה חברה, in white lightning, in אשכנזי lightning, וברכה ירוקה, in a green lightning, וענן דסלקי בקרן מערבית, and clouds are starting off on the corner of the west, ועתיין, and then make a turn, and they're coming מקרן דרומית from the north, ותרי עננים, two clouds, דסלקן חד עלה בחברתה, you see two clouds, one going toward each other, כולון קשים, they're all bad, it's not good for us. למה נפקא מינה? למבאי רחמי, what's make a difference in order to pray, dive into the Eibishter not to have anything bad. ואני מילי בלילה, all these things only at night. If it happen at night, אבל בצפרא, it's happen during the day, let בו ממש, it's not a problem. אומר רבי שמעון בר יצחק, כנא ענני דצפרא, the clouds of the morning, let בו ממש, they are not really, there is no meaning to it. They are not carrying a lot of rain. דכתיב וחסדכם כענן בוקר. The Navi said to בני ישראל criticism, your mercy, your chasadim, it's like the cloud of the morning which is worthless. אמר לרוב לאביי, how can you say that? האמרין שpeople says, אמר לרפ"פ לאביי, האמרין שpeople says, כמפתח בבי מיטרה, if you open the door and you see raining in the morning, בר חמרה, the delivery services, which used to be the Amazon back then, was the donkeyer, you know, they used to deliver with donkey. Moch, shakich, veganach. Go back to your pillow and blanket and continue sleeping, because anyway it's going to rain all day. There is no point for you to go out to work. So you see that there is a rain in the morning, that
Nice
it's meaningful.
if it still lasted.
The Gemara says, "Lo kashi, achi, you have no Amazon coming to your door." The Gemara says, "Lo kashi, adekater beiva, or dekater be'anini." It all depends which type of clouds. If in the morning you see heavy clouds, then you can expect the rain. If you see light clouds in the morning, it's meaningless. At night, it really can be effective and to have a lot of rain.
Why? Storms don't happen at night, it just said.
What?
The storms don't happen
No,
at night.
not just storm, talking about rain, regular rain. Heavy storm. The storm that we're referring to, like tornado, like things that are tough. עומר רב אלכסנדרי,
Fact check that.
עומר רב אלכסנדרי, עומר רבי יהושע בן לוי, לא נבראו רעמים, thunders weren't created, אלא rather לפשוט הקמומיות שבלב, in order to straight out the bending part of our hearts, שנאמר, והאלוקים עשה, God made, שיראו מלפניו. People should have a fear from him. So when there are some, thunders, people are like, oh, shaking you, and that's a point. You gotta wake up once in a while. עומר אלכסנדרי עומר יהושע בן לוי, הרואה את הקשת בענן, somebody who sees a rainbow in the clouds, צריך שיפול על פניו, you need to fall on his face, שנאמר, כמראה הקשת אשר יהיה בענן, like the vision of the rainbow that will be in the clouds, it's like the vision of God. So that's why you gotta bend down. However, at the pasuk comes out, "Ve'ren I saw vayipol al panai, I fell on my face." So when somebody sees the rainbow, he needs to bend down. However, the Gemara says, "Laiti ala b'ma'arav," they cursed that statement in Eretz Israel. If you bend down, it looks like you are bending down to the sky, to the rainbow, No, they curse at it. In Eretz Israel, when they heard that coming from them, from Babel, they said, "What the heck? You look like you're bending now." Like a boy says, a boy came out and said, "Rabbi, why are we praying to the moon?" Berkat Levanam, like, "Oh no, we're not praying for the moon. We're blessing the moon."
Wow.
The Gemara says, "Aval beruchei." Don't bend down, but beruche ודאי מברך. But ברכה you should say, מה אם מברך? What's his ברכה? ברוך אתה השם הכל מלך העולם, זוכר הברי. The one who remember the covenant that Hashem made with Noach, there will be no more flood, no more מבול. במתנית התנא, in the Bride says, רבי שמואל, בנו של רבי יוחנן בן רוקה אומר, you gotta say the ברכה, נאמן בבריתו, וקיים במאמרו. Hashem is trustworthy of the covenant, and is fulfilling what he said. Amar Rav Papa, and this is famous Rav Papa, whenever you have machloket on two brachot, what to say, on a bracha, what to say, two opinion, he combined them. Amar Rav Papa, ilkach nemrinu letarvayu. Let's say, both of them, what should be bracha? Baruch, zocher haberit, remember the covenants, vene'eman bebrito, trustworthy on his covenants, ve'kayam b'ma'amaro, and is fulfilling his promise. Last part for this page, על הערים ועל הגבעות. The Gemara says, the Mishnah had a separate bracha for harim, for mountains and גבעות. Everything here was, ועל הימים והנרות, והנרות אומר, ברוך עושה מעשה בראשית. So the Gemara asks, Atu kol hani da'amaran, everything that we just said so far, la מעשה בראשית ninu, aren't there also מעשה בראשית, the creating of בראשית? All of thunders and everything, it's created of berachit. How do we know? Active. Berakim lamatar asa. Hashem created the creation of the beginning of the world. He created the lightnings of the rain. So you see, it's also part of the creation of the world. Why are we saying on those events? We said on lighting everything, Baruch shekacho gvurato malei olam, when it is also part of the creation, we should say oseh maaseh bereshit. Amar Abaye kroch vetani. You got to combine the two portions of the Mishnah, meaning all of the list of thunders and everything. You got to end on mountains and heights. You're supposed to say all of them two brachot.
Yeah, mountains and
Kachol
hills.
gvurato mountain hills, kachol gvurato malei olam, and oseh maaseh bereshit. That was the
So
opinion
you
of
say we
Abaye.
combine the two for even Berakim, Ramim, and all that.
All together. V'rov Amar lo. Hatam, the first list that we mentioned, Mevarech Tarte, would say two brachot on third and everything lighting, Baruch shekocho malei olam, v'oseh maaseh bereshit. But Hacha, on mountains and what is
Hills.
it? And hills,
רק מה זה?
Hacha only oseh maaseh bereshit ika, shekocho malei olam leika. The second bracha, shekocho malei olam, you don't need to say. Only when you have something that you know out of nature, thunderings, things that are shaking and abnormal, this is when you say shekocho, the strength of Hashem. But on mountains,
It's
you
just
know
there.
that's a normal, you don't say shekocho.
Yeah, it's just...
עם רשע בני והעורר רקיע בטהרתה. Anyone who see the skies when it's clean, meaning there is no clouds in the sky, says, אומר ברוך עושה מעשה בראשית. מתי, when is that happening? גם הרבה, כי עתה מתרקו ללילה, when it was raining throughout the nights, בצפרא, in the morning, עתה הסתנה, and the wind comes in the morning, ומגלידו לשמיה, and reveal the sky, that's the time to say, clean sky, עושה מעשה בראשית. כמו conclude, פליגי דרפרם בר פפא, that's arguing on רפרם בר פפא, אמר רב חיסדא, אדם רפרם בר חיסדא, אמר רב חיסדא, ביום שחרב בית המקדש, since the day בית המקדש was destroyed, לא נראית רקיע בטהרתה. We never saw the רקיע with so clean and
Pure,
bright
yeah.
and pure, שנאמר, על בי שמיים כדרות, after Hashem destroyed בית המקדש, he said, I will dress the sky with kadrut, with darkness, ושק אשים כסותם, and I will
Sackcloth, yeah.
dress the sky with sackcloth. תעשה.